Hey mathematicians, let's do your homework. Okay, so we have another problem about variability. Remember, variability means when you ask a question, you get lots of different answers, whether from the same person and their answer changes day to day, or whether you ask a bunch of people on the same day and their answers are just different. Without variability means you're not getting a lot of different answers, or you're not getting a lot of answers. There's one answer, or everybody's answer is the same. So we've got 4 kids making up questions, and we want the ones where you're not going to get a lot of different answers. You're like, oh, I could figure that answer out. That's one answer. So we have Bertha. What is the volume of a cube with an edge of 5 units? Remember that a cube is a 3D shape where all the edges are the same. So we could do length times width times height to find the volume there. We don't need to, but we could. It's 125 cubic units. What is the number of nickels in $5? Remember, a nickel is 5 cents. You could count by 5 senses till you get to $1. Multiply that times 5. Okay. What is the volume of a rectangular prism with a base area of 20 square units? So remember, a base area is that capital B. What is the volume when we know that the capital B is 20, but we still don't know the height? That one depends on what the height is. What is the base of a triangle? Okay, wait a minute. Triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height, with an area of 40 units and a height of 8 units. We could work that backwards and figure out the base. So I have 3 where I can find an answer and 1 where I couldn't. Number 2, what is the value of the expression? Remember that your scratch work should include GEMDAS. Go for those grouping symbols first, then move on to the exponents, then you can do that multiplication. I don't see any division on this problem. And last but not least, you would do that addition. Subtraction is not last here because it's inside grouping symbols. The relationship between the number of pages, X, and the number of pictures in a photo album, Y, is represented by the equation Y equals 8X. Before I even look at my answer choices, I know I'm looking at a multiplicative relationship because I see the 8 and the X really close together. I don't see an adding or subtracting sign. So I'm looking for a times 8 relationship here. 5 times 8 is, 5 times 8 is, okay, 5 times 8, 5 times 8. All right, so I can eliminate 1 that way. And you're just going to go through because just because B, C, and D all work doesn't mean they're going to work for the 6 times tables or the 7 times tables or the 11 times tables. So go through and check each of them because only one works. On the next page, looking at this triangle, which we're calling CEB, notice that C, E, and B all connect to form a triangle. And we're talking about rectangle ABCD. So A connects with B, which connects with C, which connects with D to make a rectangle. Segment EF, segment is a line. See this dotted line right here that goes from E to F, is the altitude, also known as the height of the triangle, which has a base of C to B. Which of the following statements is true? Oh boy, this is a big one. Don't freak out. It's rectangles and triangles. We know the area formula for both of them. Let's just, before we even read them, say, okay, the rectangle, ABCD. Our area formula is area equals base times height. And triangle, CEB, our area formula is area is 1/2 of the base times the height. Okay, honestly, I'm going to start reading the shorter sentences because A makes me a little stressed out. So if I can find B or C, which look really easy to read, I'm going to start there. B says triangle CEF. Okay, wait a minute, that's different than triangle CEB. So we're looking here at triangle CEF, which is this right triangle. Triangle CEF is a right triangle, agreed. So its area is the length of C to D. Wait a minute. See how these are lowercase? And I'm talking about capital letters when I'm naming my angles. This is my lowercase c times lowercase d. Is that a base and a height? I see the divided by 2 part, but I don't know about that one. Okay, let's look at C. The area of triangle CEB, okay, our full triangle, is D times B, and then C times B, and then we add them together. Does that match our area formula? There's no plus sign in our area formula for this triangle. There are plus signs in the trapezoid area formula. D, I don't know. I have to read A. I was trying to avoid reading A, but at least it's either going to be A or D at this point. The area of triangle CEB, that whole big triangle, that whole obtuse triangle, is half of the area of the rectangle. Okay, I do know that triangles have a half in them because the two right triangles that compose CEB, so we're talking about this right triangle right here and this right triangle right here, are congruent, that means equal, to the two right triangles that are not part of triangle CEB. So do you see how this one looks like it's equal to this one? And this one looks like it's equal to this one. I really wish I could change the color of my pen. Okay, I agree. Those look equal. They look like two rectangles that were cut diagonally, and that makes triangles. Thus, that means like, okay, because of that, half the area of the rectangle is in the triangle and half is outside the triangle. I agree with that. Thus, that means because I said that, it must be that the area of triangle CEB is half of the area of the rectangle, or our base times our height cut in half. That sounds right to me. Number 5, which I guess is our last one. Joseph scored the following number of points during the first 5 games of the basketball season. What is the mode? Mode the most. Which number appears the most? And now you're done with your homework.